Hello, CCO, and welcome to the CCO podcast where we keep the church outside the church connected. I'm your host, Josh Wise, and as always, I'm joined in the studio by Luke, and yes, we got him a camera. And with us today, we have three awesome ladies who help run City Kids, our children's ministry here at CCO. We have Miriam Ramirez, who is their fearless director. We have Janae, who oversees first through fourth graders and has become a jack of all trades, children's ministry related, worship, social media, and more. And we have Amelia, who oversees the little babies through kindergarten and is a specialized, She is specialized in all things arts and crafts. It's Amelia. And I already said that. But it's too late. This is a live show. We just roll with the punches. Thank you, guys. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. You guys excited to be here? No?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Josh.
Yes, we are. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
As always on the CCO podcast, we cover how our ministries here at the church ties into our big three: discipleship, prayer, and evangelism. Starting off, I was hoping you could all share with us a little bit about who you are and what brought you to City Kids. Amelia, we can start with you.
Yeah. I grew up here at CCO. I've been serving in the children's ministry ever since I can remember. I think first room I started in was the nursery. And then I started as a helper, then I became a teacher, and then I started helping Marcy paint the hallways, and kind of grew a relationship with her, and then from there became an intern, and now I'm working here as an assistant, and it's pretty awesome.
Very cool. Janae, how about you?
For me, I've only been going to CCO maybe about 4 or 5 years now. And my first time serving in the children's ministry was the VBS, and I had a lot of fun with that. And so I started talking to Marcy and getting more involved in teaching and everything. And I think a month or two later, she's like, "You want a job?" And here I am, and I'm fully in love with all the children here and all the families, and I am so happy to be a part of the CCO family.
How about you, Marion?
For me, I didn't grow up in the church, but I always say that I was raised here with wonderful ladies when I started coming in 2009. And I started serving in the children's, did VBS, and just grew that heart to serve children. And then after that, I started working as an assistant for CKC, our Wednesday night program. And then now I'm here. I'm the children's director, and I get to oversee every grade plus CKC. So it's been a great blessing to do that.
That's awesome. I just love hearing these stories because many of you may not even know who was watching your kids. I hope I would know you would know who's watching your kids or was watching your kids. You know what I mean? But it's just cool to hear how they got where they are today because they listened to the Lord and followed His calling on their life to serve Him. And it's just really exciting to have you guys here and be able to hear those stories. So thank you for sharing with us. Miriam, can you just give us a 50-foot overview of kind of how City Kids functions, what you guys do, what maybe a service pre-coronavirus looked like, just for those who may not know?
Yes. So our job here at City Kids is just to prep everything that has to do with our children. That includes all of the midweek stuff and Sunday lessons and our CKC lessons and anything else outside of that, like VBS and kid outreaches. Like right now we're doing our Family Fun Friday ones and stuff like that. So like Amelia mentioned, she oversees all the curriculum for the infant through kinder. So you may think that infants don't have curriculum, but we do have something that's age appropriate for each classroom. So they work really hard all week to do that for our Sunday and Saturday services. And then Janae does the same thing with the elementary. And their job is just to set the lessons up and everything. If there's a craft, a song, anything like that, and have everything ready for our teachers that do serve on the weekend. And their job is also to facilitate the teachers and answer questions and recruit our teachers, or if we need more servants, to make those calls and just prep everything. And the same thing on midweek, and make those calls. And also, our heart is to provide those resources for our families. So we're here always available to serve them anything they need. If they need a resource on a good homeschooling program or something like that, or a curriculum, we're here to serve them in anything they need.
Very cool. And Miriam, I actually, because Miriam loves being put on the spot, I actually wanted to ask if you knew kind of off the top of your head what or how many people serve in children's ministry, because children's ministry is one of our biggest. You heard her talk about they have a midweek CKC study, and then obviously on Saturday nights, Sunday first service and Sunday second service, and they're doing other events and outreaches and all that kind of stuff. It takes a lot of people to watch a lot of kids at a church of our size. So I was curious if you knew just about how many people serve. Do you know?
I think about
Or an estimate, maybe?
Yeah, 130, and that includes our adult servants, and then that includes our younger servants. So we do have a lot of younger ones, like 12, 13-year-old, that are our helpers. So we have about 130 of them.
Oh my gosh, that's
And-
more than I thought.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
have a lot. So we have a
Lots.
good crew. And I think that's including our midweek and our CKC. Just alone for CKC, we have 16 servants that help on Wednesday night.
Wow.
So we try to keep our ratios really, we want to have it intimate. So even though we have a lot of
Right,
kids,
right.
we want to keep our ratios really good. So that's something I really like to have, because we like to do the small groups and have more an intimate setting. Even though we have a lot of kids, we want to try to break them up into smaller groups so they could have that connection with their teacher.
I was about to make a joke about how it takes a lot of leaders to watch a lot of kids, but I like what you said there about how you guys try to be really intentional with the amount of, I want to say students, but, well, I guess they are students, very young students,
Yes.
to teacher ratio, so that there is that level of intimacy and, ability to connect with those kids, because, that connection is really important. I mean, I remember back when I was in children's ministry, having a teacher that really cared about you and cared about you learning more about who Jesus was. I mean, you guys are laying the foundations next to these kids' parents, teaching them who Jesus is and these really amazing things that have happened in the Bible, and teaching them how to worship and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it takes people who, really care about these kids to be able to come alongside them. And I mean, it really makes a huge difference. I know it did in my life, and I'm sure you guys all feel the same way.
Yeah, definitely. We don't want it to feel like a childcare. We want it
Right.
to be, like I said, intimate and build those relationships. And this is where we teach them to build those relationships.
Absolutely. And I wanted to kind of break it open to all three of you guys. I wanted you guys to share some ways that City Kids has been innovating now that with the coronavirus and all this other stuff going on, how you guys have been keeping the kids engaged digitally. Any one of you guys can jump in on that question.
Well, I think I'll let Janae, because I kind of have some ideas, but Janae has been executing all of those because she's very tech savvy.
Well, thank you very much, Marianne. So to help keep the kids engaged at home digitally and everything, Marianne, the first week that we heard that the church was going to be closed, she immediately approached us. Me and Amelia was like, can we film the lessons? That way they can have it. And I was a little iffy, because I kind of understood video editing, but I was not as tech savvy as you and Luke are, Josh. So I was.
You're getting there.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
okay.
getting there. I'm working towards it. More practice makes for better, and I know our videos, so we've been putting out weekly lessons for them, and I'm so glad that we started that, and Marianne initiated that. And then each week we have a meeting, and we come up with more things that we can try to do to help and engage our kids at home. So we post our crafts and activities and more and other things that, and like other discussion questions and deeper Bible stuff that the parents can do to supplement the lesson videos that they get each week. We post that on our website. And what else do? We've started having like a story time Zoom call every other Thursday. So this past Thursday there wasn't one, but this Thursday there will be one. What else do? We've been going through the Mr. Phil show, and we've been posting some discussion questions for those because we know Mr. Phil, if you don't know him, he's the person who created VeggieTales, and now he has another show called the Mr. Phil Show. And a lot of the voices are the same, and they're really awesome and really fun, and they're engaging for both kids and parents.
Hey, Janae, where
Yeah.
can they find the Mr. Phil show?
The Mr. Phil Show. Thank you for asking. They can find that on the Right Now Media, and you can get free access to that throughout the church from the church.
That's right.
So yeah, go download that. It has videos for kids and for parents and Bible studies and many more things. Like it says in like the videos, it says it's like the Netflix for Christians. I love that, and I fully agree with that. But yeah, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
It's okay. You're good.
Danny, Emilia, do you want to share anything? Or did
Oh, our
Janae cover
Friday.
everything?
Our
The
Friday.
Friday Live.
Oh, that's right.
This last
Hey, it's Friday today.
It is Friday
You guys
today.
doing Friday Live today?
We
Yes,
do have a
we are.
live today. Marion will
way.
be doing part 2 of her cake pops. She's going to be doing mostly just on dipping things like strawberries and the cake pops, because we noticed that a lot of we had trouble. I had trouble myself, like dipping the cake pops, the dipping part of the cake pops. So we're going to dip other things as well.
In what?
For the
Chocolate.
dipping novices like
in
you?
chocolate.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So that's
So-
been fun. We do that at 4 on Friday. Last week I did doodles, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Very cool.
And what did we start? Our new YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
yes, we started a YouTube channel.
Yes, we wanted
Yeah.
to make it more accessible for families because we've noticed a lot of our families didn't have social media like Instagram and Facebook. So we started our YouTube, and now all of the lessons are there, and then our lives will be transmitted from the YouTube channel too.
Very cool.
Mhm.
Seriously, this kind of part of the show has been, on this part of the show, I'm really excited having these ladies on the show, especially because of all the innovations that you guys have been hearing about right now. These things are very near and dear to my technology-infused heart.
It's a fancy word.
All these different ways that they've been able to use technology, and like Janae was saying, just a quick shout out to Janae. Seriously, learning video editing, how to broadcast live, how to use your phone over Wi-Fi as a video camera. I mean, all these types of things. She's just jumped right in, and she asked me questions, and I give her an answer, and she's like, I have no idea what that is, but I'm going to go figure it out. And it's just that type of attitude in this time that we have right now that is just really exciting to me, that you guys have all these different ways. I mean, you guys just heard 10 plus different ways that or maybe 10 is over exaggerating, but you guys get what I'm saying, that they've come up with to be able to keep the kids engaged, especially for you parents who, you've never homeschooled before. Your kids are around you all the time. They're trying to give you ways to, maybe keep them a little entertained for a while, give you guys a little bit of a break. We know that's not what it's about. Ultimately, it's about bringing these kids close to Jesus. But I'm just really excited about how they have really stepped up in this time, and it's just been really cool for me to watch. So I'll just leave it at that. I also just wanted to give you guys a chance to maybe share any testimonies from parents or kids that you guys have heard so far. I mean, we've been in this time, as we're calling it, this period of time that is like the coronavirus period of time for like over a month now. And I was just curious if you guys had any stories or comments or anything from parents to share.
Marion?
Yeah. So something that we've been getting a lot of comments and text messages from parents. They're very grateful that we're still engaging their children and that they still have a lesson. And ultimately, at first, when we did this, was for the children. Obviously, we were like, okay, they need their lesson. We want to keep the normacy. We don't want it to be very traumatic during this time, especially at this age. It could be very traumatic. They'll remember this. So we want to keep it as normal as possible. But something that's been a blessing that we didn't expect was how much families are watching our videos. So it's not just the children. They're not sitting their children to watch the video. It's a whole family affair. So different ages, younger, older, and even the parents. So we're blessed by that, to see that and to get those messages from the families.
Anybody else?
No, I think she covered it all. There's mostly like we get comments and likes, and we're just super thankful to be able to put out these videos and all that we're doing for the children. Like, it's super blessed me just to be able to hear back from them, and then they send pictures every now and then, and so we get to see the kids that we miss from every week that we used to get to see.
Yeah, that was the best. Getting pictures from parents and stuff, or text messages. They're like, "This is so amazing." I'm like, "Thank you." Thank you.
Or just seeing their smiles. So last week when I did the Zoom storybook, it was just a blessing. There was not a lot of kids, but it was perfect. And just to see their smiles and just to see them, and even though it was a different way of interacting, it was awesome just to be with them. So we really miss that. We really miss our kids.
Yeah.
Their high fives and hugs.
Were you going to say something, Amelia?
No. I was just agreeing. I was just agreeing with me. We missed their faces
Yeah.
very much.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, I want to transition a little bit
Mm-hmm.
and talk about how the church, people who are watching, can be supporting you guys practically, whether it's a way to get involved or, whatever else.
Yeah. What has been really helping, and what we'd like more of, maybe is feedback from our like videos and lives and stuff. We've been getting some. We're appreciating that. So we'd like more, maybe even some ideas of some other stuff we could do. For the kids, and obviously in your guys' prayers, for how to continue to minister to families and the kids.
Yeah, like Amelia said, definitely feedback. We really want that feedback because we don't want to continue to do something, and if the kids are not utilizing or it's not of interest, we want to meet them where they're at. So we're open, and we're here to serve our church. So we're here to do whatever they need us to do. So we really want that feedback and ideas and suggestions. We're open to that.
I think they covered it all. I can't.
Oh, are you ready for me to come back to you, Janae, and say, Janae, your turn. What do you have to say? And you're just preemptively saying, no, they covered it.
No, yeah, they covered it.
I looked at her, so she's like, oh.
It's like it went 1, 2, and there's nothing from 3. Sorry.
All right. Well, Amelia mentioned prayer. You guys could be praying for them. What are some specific things that people can be praying for you guys for?
For me, because I'm still in school, so I still have like a full schedule and everything.
Oh,
with
really?
That. Yeah, so I have full credits at school right now. I go to Miracosta, and everything's been switched to online, so that's been a little crazy. And I'm still in the dance ensemble and everything, so for the dance show, and they're still going forward with it, and same with theater. So it's been a lot of videos and sending them and receiving them and organizing people, and it's just been a lot of chaos within my brain. So just to pray for like calmness and everything for my schooling and all that's there, and just so I can be able to focus for the children as well and all that I do for them.
Yeah.
Yep, Amelia? You said yep. So
Yeah.
your turn.
I don't know. I'm also doing school. It's not as much as Janae. Janae's doing so many things. She's awesome. But I don't know. Pray for school, and just how to continue to minister to the people, to the kids. Yeah.
All right, Marion, how about you?
For me, just for these girls, I'm always praying for them because they're awesome. And I know every time I contact them with an idea or something, they're there. and I try not to bother them as much because I know they're in school. But for the families, just we're also during this time I've noticed we've been able to outreach more because more families are watching our videos, and a lot of our CCO families are sharing our videos. So just for the new families that are watching us, that God speaks to them. That's my prayer. And for the families that do come to this church, that they have that calmness, and that when they watch our videos, we do want to minister to them and teach them about God, but we also want it to be fun for them, and have our videos to transmit joy to them.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Was there anything else that you guys could think about that you wanted to talk about? We're actually pretty good on time. Usually we're cooking over, but man, we've cooked right through everything I've got here that I thought for sure was going to take a little bit longer. Oh man. Again, totally yeah.
Yeah.
We don't edit this show.
No, you're good. I just wanted to thank you for the shout out and learning all the like video editing and live stuff. I know last week for our live we upped our game, and I wanted to make it more professional and more like available, so they have all the like supplies that they need on screen and anything, and they have all the things, and make it more kind of like what you guys do on Saturday nights. I based it off of that a little bit.
Very cool.
But I was really excited.
And
to
just so
learn
you
all
guys
that
know,
stuff.
Janae has done even more than what we do in in different ways. She's actually learned how to do things that we can't even do on our end. And we were like watching the live stream last Friday, and we're like, wow, dang, she learned how to do that? We don't even know how to do that. How cool is that? And I mean, it's just, I will say this. Our ministry has gotten overloaded with so many different videos and things that we have to do and film, and we love it, right? We're thriving in this time. Luke's kind of like going, oh, maybe, I love it most of the time.
No, I mean,
Right.
we're totally thriving. I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about you guys in children's ministry is that, it takes a lot of time for us to film CKC lessons and the weekend lessons and all that kind of stuff. You guys really show us how you appreciate us by doing things like innovating the way that you are. That with this whole live stream thing, you took it and you ran with it. And you didn't even ask for that much help. You just were like, I'm going to figure it out. And we really appreciate that. And that is, for people like us who are trying to do, a lot of different things at once, it's like the best compliment in the world when people in ministry at this time are going out of their way to try and innovate. And so I really want to encourage all of you guys watching to do what Janae said and what all of them said. Give them ideas, give them feedback. Get onto YouTube, subscribe, watch. You don't even have to have kids. I mean, you can get on and watch and give them feedback. I mean, there's people that serve in children's ministry that don't have kids, right? They just have a passion for the Lord to want to try to,
I don't have kids.
share.
They don't have kids.
true.
The children's ministry kids, those are our kids.
Yeah.
That's true. And so that to me is what makes having this conversation with them so cool. And I know we kind of glossed right over it pretty quick with everything that Janae was saying, kind of said it all at once. But it really is a lot, and it really is exciting to see them innovate in the way that they have. And so in closing, I just want to say thank you guys for all that you do and all that you're continuing to do, for just being faithful to the Lord. We really appreciate you. I keep on trying to say you guys, and it's a
That's
whole
all right.
panel full of ladies.
That's fine.
I know it's the culture we live in.
Thank you, Josh.
Absolutely. Luke, did you want to add anything? This is Luke's first time behind the camera. It's okay, Luke, if you don't have anything to say.
I don't have a whole lot to say. No.
Thank you for recording, Luke.
Yeah, thank you guys for all you guys have been helping us with in the filming and edit. Well, yeah, but like helping me with questions and editing and everything. But thank you guys for helping us make our videos look more professional and more like better for the kids and the parents.
And for your patience, because I know when we record, we have an idea, and then
Oh,
we get new ideas during
Oh,
the.
gosh.
So thank you for the patience when we take your time
Of
to
course.
record.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luke says of course, but he mumbled under his breath. You're welcome.
Aw.
I'm just kidding. He would never do that. So yeah, in closing, Luke. Well, speaking of Luke, why don't you pray us out, Luke? Pray for children's ministry. Pray for some of those things that we were talking about. Being able to pray for them.
Sure.
Do you mind?
All right. Yeah.
Cool.
Dear God, thank you for today. Thank you for these ladies who just have a heart to serve you. I pray that you would just give them your heavenly energy and that you would not let them get burned out, and that when they see the kids that they would know that they're doing it for you and for them. And I pray that the kids would just be touched by everything that they're doing in their ministry, and I pray that you would continue to expand it and grow it, and that they would just have a wonderful time doing it. So thank you for this time that we've gotten to spend with them and talk to them a little bit, and I pray that you would just bless the rest of our days. Amen.
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 All right. Well, we want to remind you guys, go subscribe to that new YouTube page. They're also on Facebook. Go slap a like on their Facebook page. Make sure you hit that notifications bell on YouTube in particular so that you know when they go live or when they post a new video.
There's actually
Go ahead,
not
Janae.
one because
There's no bell?
No,
Nope.
because our
Oh.
videos are all geared towards kids,
Oh,
and
that's
because of all
right.
the new regulations and everything, there's no
YouTube.
bell. So you can only subscribe and just check it regularly.
But you could turn on the notification on our CCO app so you could get notified
It's
when
true.
we have a live video or something special, and follow our Instagram and our Facebook. We're always posting actually on there when we do upload a video to YouTube.
yeah.
See, this
there's
is
the-
why I like you guys. So you're plugging the app. You
Yep.
know, that's our thing. We keep the app up to date
Yes.
so that you guys can stay connected. So thank you for reminding
You're welcome.
reminding them about that.
Yes.
Mary, I appreciate that. Well, thank you, ladies, for joining us on this episode of the CCO podcast.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you, Josh. We had a lot of
you.
fun.
Yes,
Thank you
we
so
did.
much. This was fun.
It was.
I enjoyed it.
Well, I'm glad. And thank you, church, for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Bye.
We'll figure out the less awkward transition eventually, I promise.
Okay.
Thanks.